So today we're going to be talking about the Volt, which I think is one of the sleeper weapons in Titanfall. Even though if you're somebody who's been playing it for a long time, you may just shrug it off as being one of those sub-tier weapons, maybe even comparable to a Grenadier or an L-Star. And some people may take that to great offense to hear that their weapons that they so love are considered memes. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, are they bad? It's like, they are bad, but it doesn't mean they can't be good. It has a few things going for it which I think are really nice that some people may appreciate. And as somebody who hasn't used this weapon a lot, it's really easy for me to tell how it compares to other weapons because it's super noticeable to me right now since I don't use it that much and I'm not like already expecting how it works. It's really easy for me to pick out where I notice its strengths and how it feels, especially in comparison to other weapons. So let's just get this out of the way. We need to talk about its main weakness. And all it is low damage output. But it has all these other things going for it which I think make it really strong and possibly a weapon that somebody new may want to try out. And you'd be like, why would a new player want to try out a really weak gun? For two reasons. I find that it's kind of got like these training wheels in regards to SMGs. It has really good recoil, which means it has like no recoil, so it's super easy to control off the hip. Plus it seems to have more generous aim assist than other SMGs when firing off the hip. The other part that I really like about this gun is its reload. Check this out. Check this reload out. That is so fast. And when I was actually caught with no bullets one time, I was like, okay, it can happen obviously, but the odds of it are pretty bad. I tried between fast reload and extended mag, and I just thought that the fast reload was just too crazy. Like, it felt like you always had bullets. So all those three factors combined, which is the low recoil, the good aim assist, as well as the fact that it seems to reload almost instantly, makes it so it's easy to handle, right? Can you guys see that? By the way, it's harder to handle aiming down sights. Like, I don't recommend it. Every time I aim down sights, I was just shaking my head at myself because I'm like, why am I making things harder than they have to be? I really tried hard to steal that too. I don't actually know what's coming up in this game, so I have to actually pay attention a little bit because I do want to cast a few parts. I remember there were some parts where I wanted to talk. So it was, by the way, I just want to let you guys know that it was between this game and a game with the Mozambique. And the Mozambique game had its own moments. So it was like a couple of bunny hops or airstrafes, whatever you want to call it, where I'm like, this is the pinnacle of Titanfall movement. And I'm going to show you guys that in a different video. You know, I'll tie it into probably some other, probably the next one. I don't know, wherever I can, I'm going to tie it in because I think if you can master this mobility move, you're just so much better off. So I'll show you guys that in the next video. Anyway, see that guy? I'm like, oh, I really wanted to challenge for that last shot, but I had to deke out. But then I went back in here, which I think caught him by surprise. But yeah, this gun feels so good off the hip. Like, it just seems to like just snap onto people without having to aim down sights. So even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, it does make it particularly easy to hit your shots and at least have damage or at least have bullets in your magazine to land those. This was the one moment. This is the one moment I didn't have bullets. And I was like, okay, I was pushing the reload. Plus, I'm not doing any tap firing, but for the most part, you don't have to because again, it's that accurate off the hip. You don't really need to, but it may not be a bad idea in order to conserve some bullets sometimes. But yeah, I can't get over this reload. Look how fast that is. Honestly, this thing feels like one of the best meme guns because it is a meme, but it's also really strong in the right hand, especially the people that are really good at just doing like aiming. Some people are ridiculous at aiming. They may not have the best mobility, but if they see you, they're able to track you. And if you're somebody like that, I think you can get pretty good games off with the Volt. And in my experience, when I have been beat by somebody with the Volt, it's because they're just very straight up people. Like, they're just like, as soon as I see you, I'm shooting at you. And that's the kind of player that the Volt favors. And that's pretty much my opinion on the Volt. What do you guys think? And in regards to that Titanfall, funny enough, I think that Warfall is practically useless because the biggest problem I have with this game and when I'm dropping my Titan is that it's not completely accurate where it goes in regards to where I aim it. And if you're using Warpfall, it's like, okay, now you've missed and you've probably lost your Titan, or at least it's taken a bunch of hits. With the Dome Shield, at least I get time to set up in case it doesn't go exactly where I want to try to bait the other Titans in. Yeah, Warpfall sucks. There has to be more of a benefit than what it offers. or make the system more accurate, one or the other. But when I have been hit by it, I know they're laughing at me. And I'm like, yep, 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 yep. Until the next turn. And then they end up dropping it, it has no dome shield and it gets decimated, and then they end up losing the game and they're like, yeah, but I got you that one time. And I'm like, yeah, you did, true. And I'm not going to be forgetting that anytime soon, so yeah, worthwhile play. And you know what, maybe one of the things is that you can kind of apply the Volt to that scenario. Because everything you do with a Volt, you're like, I could have probably done with a car, but I did it with a Volt. Actually, if you were going to compare the Volt to another weapon that was very similar in regards to its, let's call it lethality, because I don't want to say damage, I want to say because you have to take into account ease of use, you know, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying. So what would you think actually stacks up beside the Volt in this game? You think I can beat somebody with the Volt if I use the laser? Or what about a Mozambique? Actually, I think those two weapons would have a good fight. I want to catch them and throw them, but I didn't end up getting any. That's the worst when you're trying to zoom in with your laser and you're getting peppered from the side. Like, the screen shake makes it really hard to land those shots. I always laugh when somebody hits me with a charge rifle with the charge hack as a pilot, because it just bounces you, like it pushes you. It's pretty funny. Doesn't happen often either, because most people will be like, why? Why bother doing damage and pushing them away and not finishing the kill? But if you do finish the kill, it's stylish as hell. When you hit somebody twice with the laser to kill them, like, you're a badass. So yeah, this is an improvement on the last time I came up here when I had no momentum. Like, that was awful. Like, I knew that approach was terrible. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like, I think it's kind of lame to talk about, like, the gamer mentality. It just sounds so cheesy, but there is something about being prepared to make decisions. You know what? The Mozambique game covers this in a much better way. So I'm going to wait till that video comes out to talk about the gamer mentality. Did I really have to do that with the Gravity Star? Yeah, probably not. I don't even know why I did, but once I had it out the first time, I'm like, somebody's got to get Gravity Starred. Yeah, this thing's crazy accurate. It's like an R97 that they just slightly toned down and added a nice blue hue to the bullets. Alright, crazy idea, just thinking about, like, this gun. What if instead of an anti-Titan gun, you get, like, a gun that, like, hits people with a debuff? Like, slows you down or does something to Titans. Like, it doesn't do direct damage. It just debuffs you somehow, gets rid of your double jump. Like, just something ridiculous. Like, it's like an EMP that throws off your thrusters or something like that. So many possibilities. I'm pumped up again about the future of Titanfall. I know we haven't heard anything, like, amazing. Ooh, I like that shot. But, you know, the interest that has been shown on PlayStation definitely doesn't hurt. They're like lining up to get onto my Titan. Which is pretty much the same as them just lining up to die. Whenever I can slide like that and get a kill, that's a Titanfall moment. So this is how you should kick off the wall correctly. I don't know if you noticed last time I went through there, I ended up getting too high and then I couldn't continue going. I'm like, what's my Titan doing lying down? Thought I was doing some sort of dodge, but it was actually just getting executed. It did end up shoving him, eh? But this is probably one of the hardest jumps ever. Like, I can't do that consistently. I can't grapple and throw myself through that slit. Like, you have to be crouching to do it, so it's a little bit difficult. I'm gonna work on it. That's a pretty good ending. I can't ask for more. That's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you all for joining me for this rant about the Volt. We're gonna pick it up with a Mozambique game, and from there, you just never know. And that's because I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing next. Maybe a Mozambique game, maybe a Kraber game, maybe a something else game. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. Paper, cut to you, and I'll see you all next time. We have a gold-plated Ion, bling-blinging out here on the frontier. For an extra $20, can you get a chain around your Titan? Probably in the next one. Wouldn't be surprised after Apex.